I managed to get nines in GCSE History, Geography, and French. I also managed to get two eights in GCSE English, and these contain essays mostly. And if you're anything like me, I hated essays and I did really bad in them from the start. If you're anything like me, you can improve, and I will show you how. So, the basic thing you need to realize is that formulas are a key part of essays, and you might not realize it, but formulas make up essays in small and discrete ways. They they create the main structure of the essay, but not in a very visible way. And most schools will give you a structure for each essay that you have for GCSE History, GCSE Geography, the 9 markers, GCSE English, and even the writing questions you have in GCSE French. You will have formulas, and what you want to do is you want to find out how you perform when you apply those formulas and how many marks you get. So do essay questions and get them marked by your teacher and ask for feedback on how you can improve. This is the first step of how you can improve. The second step is research, and that is doing your own research, as I did for my essays, and you can do this too. So, research is in the sense of you finding out online, as I have, to on how to do better in your essay questions. So this might be searching how to do 9 markers better or 12 mark interpretation questions better from history. These are things I've had to do, and what you need to realize is there's two important resources you have readily available to you at all times for everyone and for free. And these are mark schemes and examiner reports. So first thing is mark schemes. I remember for GCSE Geography, when I was trying to make my perfect formula for achieving 9 marks every single time, I looked at the mark schemes and I looked at all the AO1, AO2, and I realized exactly what each question in each paper will require of me. So I thought I had to plan out, okay, paper 1, section A, the 9 marker will require this. Section 2, section B will require this kind of thing for my 9 markers. Paper 2 is different. Paper 2, section A, 9 markers usually have this kind of AO1 or assessment objectives. Section B has this, like this. I found out what kind of assessment objectives you normally have for each question, for each 9 mark in GCSE Geography. And assessment objectives, if you don't know, are something which mark schemes usually have for different types of information you need to have in the essay to get your marks. And by looking at mark schemes and analyzing this, you realize exactly what you need to get as many marks as possible. Until I did this, I was not getting nines. Until I looked at the mark schemes and analyzed what assessment objectives I need for each question that I'm going to do. For GCSE Geography specifically, I kept on doing 9 markers and getting 5 or 6 marks, and what I didn't realize is I had to be more evaluative, and I only realized this after looking at the mark scheme. My teachers gave me feedback, but it was not enough. It was not. It did not suffice, and so I had to do my own research, go online, search up how other people did well, look at mark schemes, and improve on my own. This is what you can do to achieve nines. I didn't achieve a 9 in any paper I did in geography. because of how I performed in the 6 mark and 9 mark questions. But in the actual exams, I achieved 9s, and that is because I utilized this for my actual GCSEs. So continuing the advice that I'm going to give you, I mentioned 2 things: mark schemes and examiner reports. Examiner reports were powerful for me in GCSE history and GCSE French, and this is because specifically there was a question I always got less than half marks on, and that was the 12 mark interpretations question for Weimar Germany and Nazi Germany paper. Now, this applies to all essay questions. This is just an example of where I had to use examiner reports. In this question, the formula that I was given by my school didn't work for me. I kept on not achieving the marks, and I didn't know why. I kept on doing questions, I kept on having them marked, I kept on getting feedback, but nothing seemed to work. I had hit a roadblock. What I had to do was do my own research online, similarly to geography. I had to go online and search how did people do well in this question, and also I looked at the assessment objectives, as I mentioned before, from mark schemes, and also I looked at the examiner's report for how people are supposed to answer this question, and I realized I wasn't focusing enough on the interpretations, which is a main skill you need to show in GCSE history, your ability to interpret a source and evaluate interpretations, place weight to different interpretations. And I realized this is what I was not doing. So I spent 4 hours researching this just for this type of question, and only after doing this research did I improve. I think I did this on the Sunday, 2 days before my exam, because my exam was on a Tuesday, I still remember. And I did this on a Sunday, 2 days before my actual exam, and it helped and it worked because I achieved a 9. I didn't mess up that question in the actual exam, and it went well. So what you have to realize is you need to find out where you are in the essay question. So first step, doing the practice question, finding out how many marks you get, and 2, doing the research to improve on your own, because unfortunately your school might not tell you exactly what you need to improve on in the most straightforward way, as I had experienced on my own. You will have to realize this, and this is what you need to do. So if anything else could be said, after you've improved yourself, just do more practice so it's consistent in your mind and you know how to apply it for the actual exam. Other than that, this is all you need for your essay questions in GCSEs. I applied similar methods for English. I did not directly look at mark schemes myself, but I looked at how other people looked at mark schemes and applied that, and that got me 8s in English. I also had to look at examiner reports as to what did well for GCSE French writing, and that is how I got a 9 in GCSE French. So apply what I have told you and get those 9s in those essay heavy subjects.